and I'm like, I'm in the minority of not liking the game. Like, but that's fine. I need to play it again just to make sure I can say my thoughts are this way or something, you know. But whatever. I agree. Oh, can
Think
you
for a
hear it?
moment. Is
Can you hear it now?
I just, I can just hear the clicking of the mouse. That's all I hear.
Oh,
You
okay.
know, that and
That's right.
you, but I don't hear anything of the video.
Well, I'm gonna do you a favor. Then I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of the. Let's try this. Hello. Does anyone hear me? Is on the video? Does it seem like I'm doubling or anything like that? I can always take off the headset.
Yeah, no, I can hear you fine. It's not
Okay.
that I can't hear you. It's just for some
Okay.
reason the audio of the video is not coming through. That's the
Well,
odd thing.
I'm probably gonna get rid of the headset.
Oh.
Hello, hello. Oh my gosh, that's loud. Does anyone hear me on the other side of the world? It says oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Hello? Hello? Hello, 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 hello. Oh, well. Hello? Shoot. Disconnect. Wait, no! I didn't mean to do that. No! Hello? Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello. Okay, I'm back. All right. Yay. I am back. Sorry about that.
Okay, gotcha.
Because, well, it would still default to my headset when it came down to the chat. My throat is killing me. So I won't be able to do much. So I'm sorry about that. But
it's okay.
yeah,
man.
the headset's
It's
gone.
but okay.
I see that there goes my chat. Okay, that's cool. I'm sorry I had to leave, but we're gonna go ahead and reconnect. This should be good. All right, sorry, but again, I am sorry. I'll remember that for next time. This is still new.
Okay.
This is still new to me, so everyone can hang on, please. See my mistakes
just hang on
live.
there, folks. Having a bit of
Technical
difficulties here.
Yes, agreed. So, anyways, you want to go back or just want to continue?
Just continue.
All right, then. I want to see if you can hear it.
is it the graphics? How the game is visually presented?
Yeah, I hear it.
And does it do so with a unique style? Is it the sounds? Music or performances by actors, if any? The sounds and effects that define how a game feels?
Oh yeah. That's
Could it be the story? The level of immersion and engagement? And how the game connects with you as a player?
I chose something different. I chose the impossible. I chose rapture.
Oh man, that entrance gives me so many chills because it's well, it's the voice acting and what you're doing and how. Look how huge this city is underwater. Like, how did you do that?
Oh, I know.
And there's a build up to it, and what you're going to go into. It's like you want to explore, like okay, and then you get to explore, and then you realize it's kind of a horror game. Like,
yeah,
what's on the outside is not what's on the inside, and you find that out really fast.
right.
A lot of information is told to you like in the first 15 minutes of the game. Like it is really good. like, um, so he talked about all the things we were kind of talking about, like what's most important, and some people say different things. So that's what he's doing, and I so actually I'm gonna ask you a question. What do you think he's gonna say? What is the most important?
Ooh,
What is he gonna focus
that
on?
might be like, I don't know, maybe the detail of the game, perhaps.
Mm.
So, just
All
to
right.
take a hunch.
I know, which is why I'm asking. I've seen this
Yeah,
before,
of course you.
but
Right.
it's been a while. But this is just a good video, So we're just gonna find out. Oh, that's right. Okay, my mic is on. I thought my mic was not on. It is on. So hopefully people can still hear me on the stream. All right.
Or could it simply be whether or not it's fun to play? Well, whatever you think this
Red
thing
versus
might
blue.
be, I want you to write something in the comments. Then when this video is over, go back to what you wrote and edit it to tell us if your thoughts have changed. Because they just might. But let me play out this reveal a bit longer, because that's fun, right? Buttery anticipation. I'll give you a hint and say that no game is worth playing if it doesn't have this. And I know that most people, except a select few, are going to agree. This aspect I'm referring to applies to the really good video games, and even the shittier versions of those good video games. I've read articles and comments that say stuff like, addictiveness is one of the most important aspects of a video game, or the story, the controls, the progression. The most important thing in a video game is chaos? Wait, what the fuck? There's so many people clamoring
Why does
and
it keep
putting their
skipping?
thoughts out there. Some of them are just plain ridiculous and far-fetched, and allowed me to boldly...
Oh my gosh, my internet must be going crap. Yeah, it's in orange, it's in red. Daggone, why? Because I'm running OBS? Like, daggone, I think slobs might be better. Daggone.
Yeah, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be OBS.
Well, it has to be because usually it runs fine. Oh, knock on wood. And, but I think it's like it takes too much processing power. I think Slobs was doing it better. Like, so I'll go back to Slobs. Mission received. I mean, message received. Like, okay. So yeah, I hate to say it, but that one's better. I don't know if I'll keep this one or not. I mean, I did actually record something. Like, that was interesting. I'm like, oh, I can record through it. But the problem is, I have a program that does that already. It's called Windows Movie Maker.
Right.
I'm like, I can do that. And in fact, it left a phantom file on my desktop. Have you ever had a phantom file?
No.
Well, I got footage from Movie Maker for my new video on Boromir, and and I put it, where it belongs, and on my desktop, it's a copy of it, but it doesn't exist. I can't delete it. Like, if I put it in the recycle bin, it says can't do it. If I try to delete it, it says it doesn't exist. But I can move it around.
That's bizarre.
It's Schrodinger's file. Like, like, what in the world? So, anyways, so yeah, he's just going through the video. Let's go ahead and just, yeah, like chaos. What? Like, it's chaos. So yeah, a lot of people like to claim what the best thing in video games is, and they all have their own opinions on it, valid or not, because not everyone's opinion is valid. Do you agree with that? Not every opinion is valid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's sometimes like if you're having like a conversation about math, and someone brings up Shakespeare, like the heck, like no, it has nothing to do with this. Like, but to be or not to be, no, that's not the same too. Like,
Yeah.
like that doesn't belong in geometry. Like,
Right.
unless you want to, I mean, if you want to connect them, that's fine, but it doesn't mean they belong together or you have the opinion at the moment. Or but you know what I mean. It's like not every opinion is valid, and even if it is it could be valid. Like you're gonna have to explain that, and if it isn't, you
Right.
just waste our time. Like, like mm,
Proclaim that all these people and ideas are wrong, wrong, wrong. Well, actually, Actman, who are you to say what other people find most valuable and necessary in every single video game? Don't you think you're going into subjective opinion territory here? I mean, what do you... Shut up, I'm in charge here. Yes, master. Sorry, master. Now you gotta think broad here.
I don't know. I just got a big chuckle out of that. It's like, sorry, master. Oh yeah, AVG and Adventures. I gotta stream that. It's actually a really fun game. It's just, um, vulgar. Believe it or not, I didn't want to do vulgar games. Doing like God of War 3, I was gonna stream that, but I'm like, oh yeah, there's like nudity. I'm like aggressive nudity. It's not just like artsy nudity like there is like in Blasphemous. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
it's like um, Aphrodite just wants to have sex with you, and I'm like, I'm like, if that ever happened, I'll be like, oh no, it skipped because it's kind of funny how we deal with violence and nudity differently. It's okay to rip a guy's guts
Yeah.
out, but show nudity, oh no! Like
Right. Right. Exactly.
you can't see these words, but you can decapitate somebody on screen. Like what? But yeah, I'll probably get over that someday because AVN is a short but fun game, and I want to play the second one, which has a little bit of a story to it. It's neat. Come on.
Everyone, because what matters most in a video game, and you're gonna agree with me when I tell you, is the exact same thing that matters most in every game. I'm talking every sport, every board game, everything from hopscotch to Who Wants to Be a Millionaire to Call of Duty, Halo, League of Legends, Dota, Counter-Strike. This facet is all-encompassing, and yet I haven't seen an article, forum, video, or anything at all that brings this up. Not even the Wikipedia page on video game design mentions it. Only the angry video game nerd brought it up.
Now, what's the most important aspect about any game? Well, being able to fucking play it.
On the real, this is the most important aspect of a game, but that goes without saying, alright?
Unrelated
And I'm
MCC
talking about
footage.
something else. But you want to know, don't you? You're anxious to hear what it is, and you're curiously wondering if I'm actually right or if this is just bullshit. Well, the secret about it is, and let me tell you, hey Actman, you got a letter. It's from 122nd 6373. Get to the fucking point, street. Alright. We'll skip the 10-minute drum roll. You ready? The most important thing every video game needs is challenge, difficulty.
Challenge and difficulty. I guess those
I
are
was
same thing.
actually-
I actually do agree to a point. Yeah, because without it, you're just I have a story about D&D and how challenges makes a player want to actually do something. Like to challenge somebody makes them feel better about themselves. Because there's a thing called D&D encounters, where it's basically you can't fail.
Mhm.
It's impossible. Like the whole point is to your character levels up no matter what, or succeeds no matter what. The story goes on without you or not. Like, and you come back with the same level character, it's fine. It's just there to but to be fair, it's an introduction tool. But after a while, it gets really old because it's like what you do doesn't really matter. What you
Yeah.
do is there's no real challenge if you just succeed. This is why this whole thing about game journalism is really bad because they want to review the game quickly without the challenge. You know,
Yeah.
and without the challenge, there's no meritocracy. Because like, oh, look at the downtrodden people. They can't play this video game. Therefore, you're letting people out of it. Like, well, that's really tough because challenge is what makes a game fun to watch or play. It's kind of like Monopoly. Either either you get your butt kicked or you win. Like no one's gonna hand you a victory. Like it's kind of like this. Like everyone gets a medal. Um, Everyone gets an award. For completing it.
Right.
It's like that sort of slaps in the idea of competition. That's why I never held back on my nephews while playing Smash. Like, no, I'm not doing it. It's not happening. Sorry, but I can't say I didn't hold back at all. But I'm like, I'm gonna, sometimes I'll go
Right.
overboard just because. But you know what? I'm gonna
Right.
win because I know I can. But I said like, won't you? And so they even told me sometimes like, won't you let us win? I'm like, well, that wouldn't be fair, would it? That wouldn't be fair if I just let you win. And now, here's the thing though. They're really good at it now.
Nice. Nice, Zeke.
Mm,
Nice. Oh.
let's say good. Oh, it doesn't say that. I changed it. What? I'll even show you. I'll prove my. Oh wait, I forgot. I didn't put the display catcher back on. Whoops. I'm a big idiot, but that's fine. That's my fault.
just a bird brain.
Yeah, I am. I am. Where's the view? Oh, here's a view docs. Okay, we're gonna go to stream information because I put down just chatting. I did that. It's running in Steam. It is because I took that off. What the heck? No way. What? Eating up valuable resource. Oh. Well then, I guess we're gonna go back and take care of that. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and okay. Yeah, that could be why it's eating up valuable resources. It shouldn't be running. Like I ended that. Yeah, it's just chatting. Like I updated it. Okay, so we're gonna get rid of that. Okay. Um. So I hold on. I need to go to my task manager, I guess. Because yeah, that's probably it. Web results. Yeah, task manager. Yes. Oh no, it told me to look it up on the web. Got it. Check Steam. Well, Steam's not running right now. But it says it is.
Uh,
Like, what? That doesn't make any sense. Well, thanks,
That's
Steve,
what
for
Zeke
telling me
might be
that.
saying, though, is it might be running in the background.
Yeah, it could be. and I keep hearing a dip in the sound for some reason. It goes burp. No, no.
That happens. It happens a little bit, but it's nothing
I don't know
like
what that's. I don't know why it's
that
doing
bad.
that. But whatever. This is a crap show. Huh? All right. Task manager.
Sometimes crap shows could be good too, though.
Yeah, I know, right?
So just depends.
Watching a good video and
go.
it's like, haha, you can't do anything. So my task manager is not showing anything. It says Google Chrome. Yes, it is. The only thing that's running is Google Chrome, OBS. All right. So I need to check Steam then. Okay. Let's see. Let's do this real quick. I'm just check Steam. Scan. I could scan it. Yeah, let's scan. Let's check the scan on Microsoft's scan. Let's scan it. That'll make the best stream ever. Woo!
Yeah.
So now I'm using Wi-Fi from all kinds of places. It's fantastic. It's gonna be great. Okay, my library, baby. Well, it says I'm playing Steam. It's a yeah. Let's go ahead. No, let's go ahead and stop that. X stop playing. Time played 8.2 hours. How do I stop playing? It's running. Yeah, stop. Fatal error. What? It won't stop playing it. I must run. I have no
Oh,
game.
boy.
I have no game, and it must scream. Oh no! I have no game, but I must play.
Running a game. Just run the game.
You see, it says Halo Mass Collection running. Okay, it says it's running right now. I say stop, and it's like lol, no. It's like what? Do I have to disassemble you?
May have to.
Oh my gosh! Like, how do I stop it from running? Do I have to like disable Steam? Do I have to get rid of it? It's going nuts here.
Async, if you got a minute,
What the heck is going on?
Yeah.
I may have to
Hang
just
on,
here. Look at this. I'm gonna put on my display. Well, Lark. Coward, come back here and fight.
I was about to ask Zeke if he had a moment.
Wait, it's not running. Hooray! It works.
You got it?
Yeah, I got it. Thanks, Zeke. Okay, it's not running anymore. We're doing fine. We're great. I didn't play most of the thing, even though you could hear it. I hope. I'm a terrible, terrible streamer. I'm a terrible host. Oh my gosh. So anyways. So yeah, back to the video. Back to the video. So it says like difficulty is the most important thing. I'm like, okay. That's actually I would actually conclude that's a part of gameplay. Really? That's right. What do you think of difficulty being the most important thing?
I actually kind of agree with that.
Yeah.
Because yes, if the game is just too easy, it doesn't make it fun. But at the same time, if it's too hard, it gets extremely frustrating. So
Yeah, you have to find that balance.
yeah,
Like, I know people probably don't agree, but I think Dark Souls 1 is the perfect balance of difficulty. Like, it's based on you. adjusting to your surroundings and the enemy. And you have to use tactics. You can't just blindly go in. You have to. It's almost like a
Right.
strategy game. Like you can't just
Oh yeah.
blindly attack.
Right.
And that's why they have stamina. It's almost like you're taking turns in an RPG. Like
Yeah. Oh yeah.
because of the stamina meter, and I just think it's a brilliant idea. Like and you have to be aware of your surroundings, all that stuff. If you die, it is 95% your fault. Because the other 5% is like, well, the camera's not right. Or all of a sudden things happen out of your control. Or maybe it's like, haha, first timer, you're gonna fall for this death trap. Like
Right.
but still, like most of the deaths, 95% are probably are your fault. Like you did that yourself. That death trap had like signs, warning signs. You could have avoided it if you'd have listened. You could have looked around, like like gravity is your greatest enemy, and all that stuff. Let's see. Also, Celeste has perfect difficulty. I think Cuphead has perfect difficulty. It's one of those things where like each death is your fault. You put yourself in that situation. What more unfair difficulty? I can't think of a game with unfair difficulty right now for some reason. What I would say is like difficulty spikes. Like for example, the next boss is just like, why are you so much harder? Like,
Right. Right. I mean, that's kind of how I feel about, you know, like, in my opinion, on the Final Fantasy games, some of the
really,
Final Fantasy games have bosses that are just ridiculous.
are these optional or just standard bosses?
Both?
Both? Yeah, but it's usually the optional one that's a tradition. Like, is to make
Yeah.
impossible bosses.
Right, but sometimes even like normal bosses could be a real headache sometimes because
You have to
trying to
force
think.
yourself to
Like,
grind
well,
for
yeah, like
2 days.
well, yeah, because yeah, like one game I have I had to grind. Actually, I had to restart the whole game because it was a
Yeah.
challenging game. So because I got all the way to the final boss and I got my butt kicked by him, and I was like, okay,
Did you level wrong,
so-
I guess? Or.
It was there was just I thought I was leveled up enough, but nope. That's what it was one of the things. I wasn't leveled up enough, and I didn't have the proper equipment to really do a good amount of damage. So
Yeah, I did almost the same thing. The first Dark Souls I ever had, I got from Amazon, and that was the Prepare to Die edition for PS3, and I didn't know anything about it, and I had to start over. Like, and when I started over, I did it on live on stream with my PS4. So it's like I'm gonna start over, but I'm gonna learn from those mistakes, and I did. I actually
Yeah.
beat the game. Like it was. I was really not looking forward to the DLC, but I'm like, let's go.
right,
But it was really cool. Because the first time I fought Artorias in that arena, I was like, even though it was a hard boss, I loved him. Like, it was fantastic boss fight.
yeah,
Like you could tell, like this is a fair fight, even though I'm losing a lot. You have that. You have that feeling. It's sort of like Hollow
Right.
Knight. While I was facing against the Nightmare King, you guys saw that. I was getting my butt kicked, but I never was really that frustrated. I was just disappointed in myself, like because it
Right.
was my fault. It was always my fault. When something's not my fault, I get twice as angry. Like,
Yeah, no, that's kind of how, honestly, that's how I felt with, like, God of War 2, The End Begins, with the battle with Zeus at the end.
really?
I kind of felt that way.
That's
It was
one of
like,
the
'cause I
easier
felt-
battles to me.
To me, he wasn't that easy. Zeus was not that easy.
I think in
had
3 he's a
easier-
lot harder. I'm like, what
Really?
happened? Like,
Really?
oh yeah. In 3 he's a douchebag of a boss. Like, he has the 2 tisms, but he also has the like enhanced abilities and spawning everywhere. And I'm like, this sucks. Like, I hate this. But the second one, I'm like, that golden fleece is just amazing. Like, I'm like,
Well, you have the fleece in the third one. Just the one difference.
yeah, but it's a lot harder in the third one.
That is the key thing right there. Is that in God of War 2 you can see a little flash as you're activating the golden fleece. In God of War 3 they don't give you that little flash, so you gotta kind of learn how to use the golden fleece.
Well, I use the
at the right
sounds
time.
really. I mean, I use the sounds and when it's near me because it's actually pretty generous with the golden fleece. Like, so that's how I practice my parries and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
so I think I don't know what the hardest boss is. There's, yeah, I'd say he's the hardest boss in the game, but I never found him difficult.
Right.
But
I mean, all I'm saying is I just enjoyed the fight with him, though. That's what
I
I'm
did.
saying.
I did too. Yeah, I enjoyed that fight. But the best fight I think is the Sisters of Fate. Like, that fight's
No.
awesome.
No, definitely agree there. Definitely agree. They're challenging and they're hard, but they're not like that.
I don't think it's
hard.
unfair at all.
Or
Like,
if
it's
Right.
really cool. Like,
Yeah.
the hardest spot in the game is going down to the last sister. That dumb
Right.
stairway down. They have those jackal soldiers. I
yeah,
hate them.
Yeah, the gauntlet, like
You're gonna bleed out your
is-
thumb trying to do it the easy way.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
if you can grab the jackal people, and if you win, you do damage.
Right.
Keep doing
right.
it. And oh man, your thumb's gonna like break off.
Well, especially if you don't get interrupted too. That's the key.
Well,
thing.
you don't get interrupted when you grab them because it's a cut. It's sort of like a mini cutscene. And so it's like, "Dah!"
If you're doing it on easy, probably not. But if you do it on normal, if an enemy attacks you,
Oh man, I've
yeah,
been
you'll
on
get
hard.
interrupted.
Like,
Huh.
and that's how I
Because that
did
was-
most of it because there was no other choice. Because if you did it the normal way, you get your butt kicked. Like,
Yeah.
you're gonna die a lot. So I had
Yeah.
to make sure I had to win those fights all the time.
True.
And I was
True.
like, oh my gosh, this is taking forever. But this is the safest way to
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah. True.
No, I couldn't do it now. Like, there's no way.
Oh.
Anyways, on with the video. Yeah.
I'm honestly surprised people haven't brought this up. I even asked my Twitter followers this question, and only one guy was able to get it right after I dropped a hint or two. So congrats to you, Lore. But just like every goddamn test I've had in elementary, junior high, high school, college, I can't just give the right answer. I gotta explain my thinking and show my work. Well, at a basic, fundamental human nature level, don't worry, we won't get too meta, people just like accomplishing things. Everyone wants to have that feeling of success.
Oh my god! Oh! Oh my god!
This is why we have the Olympics, professional sports,
Yep.
the World Cup. This is why people speedrun games. This is why we've seen ridiculous accomplishments under the most bizarre of circumstances, like beating Dark Souls with a Guitar Hero controller, playing Winston by connecting bananas to the various button inputs. Like, are you serious?
Look at that.
Shows.
What? I didn't do that. What the heck happened?
Yeah.
I wanted to pause it, and I guess it went back. I just want to look at those bananas. I just want to look at those bananas. You know what? Guitar Hero, Dark Souls. That's people just want to do that because it's challenging. I wouldn't want to do that because I get frustrated with it. I don't want to learn a new input. The heck with that. But people want to do these things, and I love how he has a dog.
Oh yeah.
Instead of his skull sign, he has a dog. Husky. But man, I'm like,
Guitar Hero controller, playing Winston by connecting bananas to the various.
look at that. He has bananas down, and he's doing it with his fingers. That's amazing. And he's playing Overwatch. That's, oh my gosh. That would be an interesting stream.
Button inputs. Like, are you serious? Executing an impossibly complex glitch. All this is done to chase the dragon of challenge.
The best part about a battle is its raw challenge.
It's raw challenge, huh? I kinda like the way that sounds.
More importantly, people like to show off their nice things or what they've spent their time doing. This is why we hand out
That's
trophies,
true.
medals,
That is actually
ribbons.
true.
You know, we play games.
This is why another reason loot boxes are hated, because you got a thing that you just paid money for instead of earning it.
Right.
Like
Right.
he's absolutely correct. Like this is so much better. Don't you feel happy like doing a video like this instead of, oh my gosh, just shut up. You see what I mean? There's a lot of crap on the internet, but you know what? There's a lot of good stuff on the internet,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna point it out. You know.
Games for fun, but we also want something to show for that afterwards. I mean, that's why I conveniently included this shot of all the trophies on my bookshelf. Just look at how important this makes me. Think about the Xbox 360 and when achievements came out. After that, Steam and PlayStation came out with achievements too. Hell, even a huge as fuck YouTube channel came out because of that, and thousands of tip videos as well. Why? Because achievements are challenges, goals that you can look at and chase, and you get that giddy little excited, bubbly feeling when you see it pop up on the screen. If a game is too easy or doesn't present an adequate challenge, oftentimes that accomplishment of beating it can mean little more than an extra 75 points for your gamer score. I really only speak for myself in this, but I can play a game that doesn't have the best graphics. I can play a game or a section that has bad controls, something that's old as shit, but I cannot play a game that doesn't challenge me. That's what I need above all else. Now, what happens when a game doesn't provide a difficult challenge? It becomes unplayable. Although there are a few exceptions to this. More than
What is that sound? What is that sound? I don't know what that sound is, but it's getting on my nerves. Like it's very audible, you know, like dirt, 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 dirt. But it's kind of like it's like a record scratching. Like someone's mic is. It could be mine, I guess. But I don't have anything connected. So whatever. I just have to deal with it, I guess. So yeah, I think he can't play one that's challenging. Like, okay, he's so far he's kind of convincing me that challenge is, but again, I'd put challenge in the gameplay element, which means I'm correct. So take that. You know, I still think story is one of the most important things. Ever, because your stories, even if your story is good, it could be too long. Like it could be too short, or like. There's lots of things to a story. Just like how there's a lot of things to gameplay, I don't think difficulty goes into gameplay. Like, but then again, that's how I define gameplay. You could find definitions of gameplay, whatever. You'd have to agree upon a definition. But whatever. Let's continue. Oh, come on. I have my Wi-Fi. You shouldn't
and
be
I'll
home.
say here, but here's one. When I replay the Phoenix Wright games, I have a pretty good idea of what evidence to present and when, as that game can easily be conquered after beating it through sheer memory. Normally, when you can breeze through a game the second time around, it doesn't constitute much replay value, but the story of these games is so fucking good, it's worth it to experience again and again. So when I first got Diablo 3 at its launch, I was so freaking hyped to play it because the first two games could be brutally difficult, which is a part of what made the demonic setting and monsters so intimidating and fun to fight. Well, when I
Plus
popped this
that creepy
piece
music.
of shit into my computer, I had played for about 12 hours, hadn't used
2
a
hours.
single health potion. I had maybe 40 at the time, and at that point, I alt-tabbed out and was googling how to make Diablo 3 harder. And what I found was you had to beat this retardedly easy, mind-numbing game in order to unlock a difficulty setting that wasn't made for 4-year-olds. And that's when I just stopped playing, because I discovered Diablo 3 offered me no challenge. And the idea that I would have to force myself to play through this boring slog of a game killed all ambition I had of playing it after that. It's also important to note that Diablo 3 is one of many games that try to provide this illusion of challenge, where there's something that feels like it's supposed to be tough or a big accomplishment when it's really not. For example, there's a section in Resident Evil 5 where you fight an alien.
Well, I don't know why he showed Luigi's Mansion there. Because, that's a bit unfair, I think. Luigi's Mansion is not really a challenge game. It's really more of a... It's Nintendo puts fun before anything else. And
True.
It puts gameplay above everything. Like, it's functional and it feels good to play. That's their first priority. I actually wouldn't mind playing Luigi's Mansion 3, probably on Switch. Like, that sounds like fun. I might actually do that for Halloween. That sounds like fun, actually. Like,
Yeah, I've played a little bit of Luigi's Mansion 3, and it is actually pretty fun.
yeah.
It has some. It has some a couple of tough boss fights, but
All right.
you know.
I was watching Katie played it, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool." By the way, that's how we
Yeah.
met. That's how we met. Was Luigi's Mansion 3?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, because it was a misread on Twitter on Twitter, and she was looking for someone to make a graphic, you know. So I did one, but I misread it because it's me. I don't read everything, and so it was already kind of done. I was like, oh, so I DM'd her even though I didn't know it. And so I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry, because at the time, you know, I was like, you shouldn't contact women on Twitter, like, or something like that, because of the Me Too stuff, you know, that got me a little bit afraid, you know, like, oh
Right.
no, and she was like, no, it's cool. I was like, okay, and then like with that, because she was cool about it, I followed her, and then I found her stream through her Twitter account. You know, she promoted it on Twitter. I was like, I'll go check it out. Turns out it's just a fun lady who likes to play games and has a foul mouth. So it's like, okay, that's all I need. And then butterfly effect. Bam! I'm right here, and she's now a one of the main characters in my program. You know, it's like, yeah. Anyways, let's go on to the I don't know. I don't know. I just disagree with that. Like, he showed that on screen. I don't think that's right. But I don't know if he was passing by gameplay, but I do agree with this next point. Resident Evil 5 has a lot of crap bosses, as far as I've seen, and this is like one of them. It becomes a what do you call those shooters that it walks around, rail shooters? Like, okay, you took a third-person action game and turned it into a rail shooter.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really boring. And they took something from Resident Evil 4. This is the El Gigante. say one of those trolls, the mountain troll, and I mean like they stole it from Lord of the Rings. Like they have a cave troll, you know.
Right.
Here we go.
El Gigante.
El Gigante.
Muy aterrador. A giant deformed monster that made for an epic and intensely difficult boss in Resident Evil 4. Only this time, instead of dodging and carefully positioning yourself, you're in a stupid fucking on-rails section where you just point the crosshair at it and hold right trigger. Oh man, my hands are getting tired. I don't know if I can hold the right trigger for 5 more minutes. I think this illusion of challenge is why some people can actually play games like Diablo 3, because even though it's not difficult in the slightest, and beating the game is as simple as just clicking everything with no sense of strategy or thought, the game can sort of fake that challenge, or fake that feeling of accomplishment.
Sure, I can. Oh no, ads. No,
Fuck, what are you playing ads for, huh?
I don't know. I just wanted.
you
I just
playing
wanted. Oh my
ads
gosh,
for?
what in the world is that? Oh, what? Holy.
Ooh.
Okay. Oh no.
I saw a little bit of that.
That was okay. That looked dumb. We might have to look at that someday.
Another game that became unplayable for me was Borderlands 2. Now don't get me wrong, Borderlands 2 is a great fucking game, but this is the problem here. I had made it my goal to do every side quest and every main quest, because I loved the first game so much. And I got to a point where I had severely outleveled all of my current missions. I was far too powerful for the rest of the game to offer any challenge, and that's why I stopped playing. Then there was Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, a follow-up to one of the most creative and fun games ever. But when I got to the second big main boss, on my first attempt I was able to beat it without even getting close to taking damage. The boss was slow, predictable, and I didn't feel any accomplishment after beating it. Once I realized Dark Moon was far too easy, I stopped playing it. Now you know the Scarab gun in
That makes
Halo
a lot more
2,
sense.
and how it just obliterates
Thank you.
everything at a whim? Well, stuff like this can be really damn fun to use in the right setting.
Oh, the Scarab
Halo
gun.
2 is one of the most butt-fucking difficult games you will ever play. So be able to conquer that difficulty using the most absurd and overpowered weapon is just such an incredible feeling. And some games do this, where they give you a moment of invulnerability or supreme overpoweredness.
Symphony of
The
the Night.
Metroid games are notable for giving you all your powers at the start, but then taking them away. Now the thing is, those moments of sheer overpoweredness wouldn't feel satisfying if the game itself wasn't challenging. Right? With the Scarab gun, that feeling just wouldn't exist if you didn't have to do a very complicated exploit to get it. Nor would the game be fun if every weapon you used was a Scarab gun, or for the entirety of the game, you were this overpowered beast. But what exactly is that balance, that
Beautiful
perfect
Joe.
difficulty that doesn't border on
Yeah.
easy as breathing or nearly impossible? Well, that's the real trick of it, and finding that balance is what separates a fun game from an addicting game. For instance, boss battles, a staple of video games. A great boss is a combination of interesting
I love
mechanics,
that boss so
a
much.
sense of scale, intimidation.
I do.
I understand. Yeah.
and pure difficulty.
I had
But
to
most
admit,
importantly,
Bowser
it's
fights
about
in
testing
sorry,
Mario
what?
64 are real. I was saying the Mario bosses, the Bowser fights in Mario
64?
64.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are actually really fun because
Mm-hmm.
all three fights aren't the same. All three fights. That's one thing I will actually kind of knock on Mario 64 is the Bowser fights. They are just too short. That's the only downside, but they are fun. So
Yeah. Well, yeah. I won't dock it points for that because it's an older game, and
Right.
not only is it older, it's the first of its kind.
right.
So it's like so you got to give it honestly I give it a lot of credit. It actually functions very well for an older
it
game.
does.
Like-
It does. It still functions very
First
well.
of its kind though. It's like daggone. And then Ocarina of Time is like the evolution. I'm like, yeah, you did that right too. So do you know what? If these are the beginning, Nintendo knows what they're doing. Like,
Yeah.
let them work. Like sometimes. Like, Oh, so far I'm like, I don't need to stop this video, do I? Like, I pretty much like, I agree. Like,
It's been a lot of good content. It's been a lot
yes,
of
I
great
know. It's
content.
we don't have to stop every 2 seconds. I could just let the video go. It's so refreshing.
What you've learned up to that point. How do you handle the game mechanics and how do you use them to your advantage? Banjo-Tooie will have a boss in every world, and often you gotta utilize whatever new moves you learned in order to beat it. And in this case, it leads up to the incredibly satisfying final boss, where you'll have to pull out everything from your bag of tricks in order to beat it. Not to mention the game offers a trivia mode testing your knowledge of the game up to that point. Now that's real creative.
That part, some people actually didn't like too much.
Oh yeah, yeah, that is kind of a. But it was made. I know this is dumb when I say it, but it was made on purpose, so you would have to like it's sort of like a troll moment.
Oh yeah,
It's like, haha, you think it's just this simple? Nope.
right.
I've never even played banjo, anything. But I hear like I remember like my cousin showed me JonTron once, and he loves that game, and I'm like, okay, I get it. I think it I don't know. It's like it's hype, I think I'd be disappointed because like I've heard so much hype for the game, but I'm the kind of guy who can temper their expectations. So I'm pretty good at seeing quality, even though it's overhyped. And this looks like Call of Duty, but that's not for back then. That's not a bad thing. If because old Call of Duty games are actually not that bad or good. Like I played like two Call of Duty games when they're in the heyday. One was World at War. And that was really good. Like that's really good. In fact, I love that game. If you don't know, World at War was actually the and Black Ops was the sequel to World at War. I had no idea. But they have connecting characters. They have connecting plot lines. And I'm like, oh, so they actually built upon it. And I didn't even know it. That's kind of cool. So anyways.
If something is difficult but isn't fun, it also isn't really worth playing.
Yeah.
Arcadia City on Legendary from Halo Wars comes to mind, where unless you are able to perfectly manage your troops in 4 separate locations, you are gonna lose. The slightest mistake on this mission will force you to restart. And that's not a good balance when it comes to challenge and difficulty. So like,
Yes.
the bosses in the original Luigi's Mansion might seem easy to someone who's beaten the game before, but I guarantee you that doesn't make it easy to get a gold plate on every last one of those bastards. You might be able to beat Luigi's Mansion without dying once, but to get a perfect score on every single boss, that's something that's hard. The reason people love the Souls games so much is because the bosses can really freak you out and kick your ass, but they're never unbeatable. The game gives the feeling of an insurmountable challenge at first. You're this weak as hell piece of shit undead, but through perseverance you can come out on top. There's so many unique ways of offering a fun yet fair challenge to players. And notice I said fair, because there are so many
Fair,
games
yes.
that add artificial difficulty, which can sometimes be more aggravating than when a game is too easy. Artificial difficulty is shallow, provides a challenge.
Artificial difficulty is shallow. That's interesting.
Yeah.
It depends. Like for example, if you're supposed to die, artificial difficulty to pump them way up, yeah, do it. Like, there are certain situations that artificial difficulty is probably good. It's probably good. Sorry, I was on a roll with my tongue and I decided to go with the rest of the sentence. But yeah, so it's I'm not saying it's always bad. There's always extremes like it's never good. I'm like, is it never? Is it really?
Yeah.
But I actually agree with the notion that like artificial difficulty spikes are like probably 99% bad. Like like yeah, you did that. Imagine if like Tetris, you beat the first 2 levels and you're so good at it that they pumped you up to 10. You know, like wait a minute, that doesn't seem fair. Like,
Right.
and that was your first time playing it. Like that's not fair. It's sort of like how like the catch-up mechanics of AI in racing games. I don't think that's fair. Now, when you're behind and the AI is weak, I think that's fair. You know, make it easy.
Yeah.
Nah, I think both are bad. Difficulty is a tough thing to get through. It's a tough thing to balance, but it's usually progressive difficulty that lets you do that. Behind every great level is progressive difficulty at its base, at its foundation. Can you name a game that's well, actually, I can name one that's probably Mario games are good at progressive difficulty. Like they don't put everything on you at once. They give you the basics, and then they say, "Can you do it?" The same thing goes for like the Shovel Knight game. Like they say you go out into the world and you have to figure it out, but we're still going to have a progressive difficulty in what happens to you. Like for example, there's a few frogs on one screen on a flat surface, and then they give you 2 frogs on a multiple layered surface. You know, to see if you can deal with them in different elevations. Then on the next one, maybe they have like 4 frogs at different elevations. You know, and like there's also a pit. You know, and it's stuff like that. You know, it gets, and then they change it up on you, develop a new mechanic later on. You know, like, and then they combine all these things together in another level sometime in the future, and they say, well, now you have to do what you've learned. Like it's like that's progressive difficulty. And that's behind all my Mario Maker levels as well. Like I use progressive difficulty. Like it's very useful. Like
Yeah.
but I'm not saying they're perfect because I don't know how to design complicated levels. I just give you a challenge like with a certain gimmick, and then I turn that gimmick into, well, what seems harder than that? And then I go on with the next challenge. Let's see what I can do with this gimmick on this part. And let's see if I can make it as difficulty as it is at this spot. And then I can do this later on, but make it harder. You know, it's not about making it look pretty. It's about making it functional. That's what I do. But some people are so like into the spectacle. Like that's fine. Like I just prefer simple gameplay when it comes to making levels. And it's you versus the game. It's not can you succeed? You know, like I'm not saying like spectacle is bad. You know, because some like those Mario Maker levels are like they have the spectacle and the gameplay to go along with it. Like it's really good stuff. So anyways, this is Call of Duty again. Man, I really actually want to play World at War on stream. That actually is a very good game. It's very historically brutal. You know, it actually portrays history in a very brutal fashion. World War II. You know, back we could portray World War II with Nazis in it.
Yeah.
Because I saw that commercial for that war games or whatever on YouTube, and it's like they have this Nazi with the Iron Cross. And I'm like, wow, you're afraid to put the Nazi symbol on there, aren't you?
Yeah.
Like it's World War II. There's going to be a faction. You're going to be a Nazi. Do it. Unless we're in World War One. That's the only excuse.
Right.
Okay, let's go. I think that's a Tommy gun he's holding. I don't know, but it could be big red
Challenge
one.
that isn't satisfying or enjoyable, and often just feels cheap and unfair. To contrast this, There is what is known as design difficulty, which is exactly what it sounds. Things like puzzles or the way levels are made. Design difficulty is meant to challenge the player's skill and their thoughts in order to overcome the obstacles presented, more so than it is a test of patience and just sheer grinding. Banjo-Tooie and DK64 will require you to solve some
and you
type
know
of
what?
puzzle in order to attack the boss.
With like yeah, I was just gonna say because he showed a brief clip there of Horizon Zero Dawn,
Yes.
and yeah, that game does challenge you because you got to use elements of not just your weapons, but like things around you to overcome certain obstacles and so forth like that. So it definitely tests you in a lot of good ways.
Yeah, I've noticed that in the Way of the Samurai game, Ghost of Tsushima,
Yeah.
where you can use everything. But still, here's the thing: like, I'm very uncomplicated, so I'm just like, oh well, I'm not hiding right now, so I'm just gonna,
Right.
I guess I'll just challenge you straightforward. Like, oh, I guess I'm dead. Oh well.
Right.
Okay.
Because
I don't lose anything.
Yeah, and again, Horizon Zero Dawn, you don't lose anything in Pacific except for just the advantage of if you're trying to sneak around enemies. That's the only thing you lose. Is
Yeah.
just the sneaking advantage.
Yeah, like I'm not saying that like I'm like. Well, I think the only advantage is like you're on horseback in that game, and I'm like I just go past dudes, and they're like, "Haha, we challenge you," and I'm like, "Okay," and I get my butt kicked. I'm like, "Well, that's not fair." But you know, it's but I'm just thinking like, yeah, that's many open world games where it's like it's always opportune to do stealth first, and if you get caught, you're like, oh well, I guess we're doing this.
Right.
You know, it's like, okay, sure. Because in Uncharted 4, they were definitely testing that out with Lost Legacy. They were going to do an open world game. You can tell. Like, let's see. Yeah, but I know what you mean because I've seen people play Horizon Zero Dawn, where it's like you got to hit it in certain spots, and if you sneak up on them, you can do critical damage on them right away. Like it's, and with certain equipment. So it's like, oh, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, because again with Horizon Zero Dawn, certain arrows, because you're mostly using arrows, certain enemies could be, weak to fire-based arrows. So
It's interesting that we weak the fire.
Yeah, I mean, most of the enemies are machines, but still,
Yeah.
it's pretty interesting that even machines have a weakness. So
Oh yeah, because it has structural joints and all that stuff. If you destroy certain like things to a machine, it could crumble all the way down. Like
Right.
it's just like a human body. Like
Right.
it has structural weaknesses that you can take advantage of.
Yeah.
So it's kind of I always find it funny in Horizon Zero Dawn, like naming your children after medals. Like it'd be like, aren't we kind of like? Why would we do that? It's like naming, it's like naming your kid COVID. Like, why would you do that? Like,
right.
I shouldn't have said that. Or Koof. Like Koof. I said Koof. At least I didn't say the. I think COVID-19 is okay to say. It's just that you can't call it the. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Insert race here. The 11-meter race. You can't mention it. Can't do it. All right. So, anyways, so yeah, he's talking about. I've never played Banjo-Tooie or anything like that. I didn't even have an N64. I was lucky enough to play N64 games. The only ones I played were Mario 64 and Ocarina of Time. That's it. And those were
Oh wow.
excellent games.
Yeah, that's surprising because I had an N64. So. You know,
Well, I
and
borrowed
one
it
of
for a
the- and
long
one-
time. Just like
Yeah, because one game, well, a couple of games I would challenge my younger sister on was Mario Kart 64 and GoldenEye.
GoldenEye, yeah. I actually played GoldenEye once, and I'm like, wow, this is kind of okay. But it was multiplayer, so I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, the multiplayer is actually a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun,
Multiplayer is
yeah.
a lot
So I actually killed my friend by like getting a supply of mines, and what I did was like, well, I noticed that we're all using the same pit to drop down in, so I'm like, okay, buddy, like, so I started dropping mines down there almost everywhere, and then I backed myself into a corner, and I went up to get him with my gun. I'm like, haha. So I started chasing him around, and so he's going to do the same thing. Like, oh, he went down. Oh no. And so like, and so he was down there, and I'm like, look around you, buddy. Like, and then I clicked. You know the time. You know because it's a.
the remote ones.
Yeah, they're all remote bombs. I'm like, look around you. Click. And like
Oh,
the
man.
floor exploded. But still, yeah, good times, and I've never had many chances to play local co-op, but it was fun. You know. I think me and Haggard are gonna try to play Reach if we can do that. If I can do that, jeez. But anyways, I actually did get it working really kind of smoothly because I had to reduce its screen size. Okay, funny story before we move on, because this is gonna be short.
Speaking of Haggard Hashin.
Oh, he's in? Oh crap, my phone got out of power. Daggone it. I haven't been paying attention to the chat, I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, I'm a dummy head. There you go. Is he in here? What are you laughing at? I don't know what it is.
I'm just laughing at chat because
Okay,
you
hold on.
say my name.
I
and
need to
Haggard
reload
Hashin
chat.
appears.
Yeah, he just okay. I don't see him. It's not updating for me, I guess. That's
If
weird.
you go out of chat with your phone or something, it resets. So,
Oh, there it
yeah,
is. It's funny because I'm missing him from the. No, my computer had a stroke. Like, what is going on? No, my phone had a stroke. Like, I don't understand. Why is technology so smart and dumb? So, anyways, back to the video. Okay.
Jackal snipers are the perfect example of artificial difficulty.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's not so much about forcing you to think or giving you a tough foe that you have to outmaneuver. Jackal snipers are simply about memorizing their location and how many of them there are. An enemy that looks at you for 1 second and you're dead. If you play through Halo 2 on Legendary, there's absolutely no way you aren't going to die to these bad.
Look. Just look at these bodies.
God. Yeah.
Like, yeah, he is absolutely right. The Jackal snipers, I've seen him play it, and it takes a second, like a little second, for you to pop your head out, and then to shoot you in the head, like, and they kill you instantly.
Jesus.
And it's like, and there's like, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them in one area, and they keep respawning until you move forward. So it's like you gotta stop their spawn somehow, and oh, it's brutal. Like, I'm playing that on easy for sure. Like, here's the thing, like, even though it says difficulty is the wrongest thing, I still play games on easy when I first play them. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, I've done my difficulty thing already, and I'm kind of done with playing games that are so difficult that they can't be played, you know? That's why I don't do Farewell. I can never see it. Oh, you're gonna hop in the chat, huh? Well, it's on background noise. Like, it's not hard to find. I don't see how you can miss it. Because whenever I hover over a chat, whenever I go to a Discord, I see they're in a chat, and I can find it instantly. I don't understand why it's so hard. So, anyways, I'm going to continue. Yeah, Jackal snipers are dumb, but they're the underlying problem in that they're the most obvious symptom of Halo 2's legendary difficulty on, well, legendary.
Bastards at least 15 times. Because this is just a
Look how
way
smoothly
for the
my
game to
video's
force you to
running now.
replay the same sections. But now compare this to something like Cuphead,
Yeah.
a game that's taken the world by storm, where the bosses are visually interesting with different phases. Even if you die a bunch, it's still satisfying to know you beat the first couple phases, and you're eager to try again to see what the game throws at you, what's
Yeah,
next
exactly.
on the horizon.
That's why it's there.
Cuphead is a game that is designed to offer shorter, yet more challenging experiences. And here's another thing to note.
That is actually, like, really, yeah, because, like, it's a direct contrast on your Discord, according to my Discord. Well, your phone's lying to you. It's lying to you. Just go there, then, and start up a conversation.
Which is progressive difficulty.
Yay.
Most games will start off easy with some kind of tutorial that'll teach you the basics. And the original Mario...
By the way, Titanfall 2, excellent game. It's a really good game. I need to stream that someday. It's really good. I'd say it's probably one of the best AAA games that come out in the last 10 years or so. Like, it has a lot of charm. And it's too bad it didn't sell, because it was sandwiched between Battlefield 1, I think, and Call of Duty. And it didn't stand a chance. Like, which is really sad. Here's my phone and my iPad. Like, I don't know. Yeah, they're all lying to you.
Video games are a great example of this, as well as the original Halo. For instance, in the first level, you only fight elites and grunts. Then in the second level, they introduce the Needler, the Jackals. In the third level, they introduce hunters and sword elites. You get the idea. Same thing with the original Mario. It's a difficulty that ramps up in challenge as you get farther into it and as you get better, which makes the overall final levels much more satisfying because that difficulty has been built up over a period of time. Now, another thing to note is plenty of games offer different...
That's exactly what progressive difficulty is. Absolutely. He hit the nail on the head. Yeah, man, the video's good. It's not perfect, but it's good. Like, daggone. I have a smile on my face. Like, instead of a one of disappointment and going, ah, all the time.
different settings and customizable difficulty. Skulls in Halo 3 were a great addition because if you ever felt the game too easy, why not experiment with a few of the settings to shake up your playstyle? Another great example is the Tales of series, which is one of my personal favorites when it comes to difficulty. You can usually pick 3 options at the start, but after you beat it the first time, you're able to tweak the settings using grade, a currency you earn throughout the game. So you could make enemies tougher, but also increase your overall experience so you get more abilities to use on. Just look at how many options there are to tweak the second playthrough of this game. And this brings up an essential factor in a game's worth: replayability. The best games are those that design for the inevitable fact that players will want to go through it more than once.
Exactly. Difficulty has a lot to do with that. Because the reason why I go through games again is because I overcame them. Now I want to do it again and see how much better I can do. Like, the first time I beat Cyber Shadow, I want to do it again. Because I'm like, I can do way better now. And after that one, I'm like, well, I can do even better again. Like, it's all about, can you do it better? Like, can you, and you see, like, plus it was challenging. I want to use those skills now to whoop the bosses I had trouble with. because now I know more.
Yeah.
It's like it's the same way with Dark Souls and everything else. Like I know what I'm doing now. Let's go back and use those skills at the beginning of the game. Like it's it's such a satisfying thing that it's catharsis. Oh boy.
That guy that brought up chaos wasn't too far from the truth. It's thrilling to not know what's coming around the next corner, to try your best to be
What the
prepared
heck
for
is
it.
that?
On the second playthrough, things might
I
change, or
remember
enemies
the
might
way I
have
just remember
increased
what
health
the
and
name
defense,
was.
or
Go back
specializations.
and
Sorry?
search
This is
it
why
up.
the soul.
I know what that's from.
It could be Dante's Inferno for all I know.
No, that thing's called a brood mother. Is what that pinkish thing is called. It's a brood
Oh,
mother.
the brood mother.
Yeah.
My phone or my iPad. I don't know, man. Like,
Yeah.
stop being a wuss and go on it. Like, come on, don't be afraid. Like, I'm looking at it right now. You see this? Oh my gosh. How are you here, Kevin? I don't know.
Mm.
Oh my gosh. I'm surprised I have friends. Anyways, yeah. So I'm going to turn it back a little bit because he said something about Dark Souls, and that's more important.
These might have increased health and defense or specializations. This is why the Souls series offers New Game Plus, because games that account for this replayability factor will take into account that having beat the game, you're good enough to beat it again. And thus, if you were to start the game over with just the same difficulty settings, you could probably just breeze right through it. Which is why Diablo 1 and
Sometimes
2
I like
were
to do that,
challenging
yeah.
and so replayable. They had auto-generated maps, which made exploring through the worlds and dungeons a little bit different each time. Enemies might be in a different spot, or you'd get a different quest than your other playthrough. So many factors that would change. Here's another interesting point. I consider Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door to be one of the most perfect games ever made. However, there's one thing that holds it back, and that's difficulty. The first couple times you play through it, it's a good challenge, don't get me wrong. It'll really keep you on your toes. But here's the issue. I've played the game so many times that I have to personally handicap myself in order to make the game difficult. I have to equip a badge that makes me
No.
take double damage so that I can play the game with a challenge. And that is a saving grace for the Thousand-Year Door's replay value, but certain games really do need a sort of expert
Really?
mode, you know?
Oh, I'm sorry. What? What happened? Oh no, an ad. Do. I don't sponsor these games because mobile games really suck. Not real games. Fight me. And I believe that, by the way. Mobile game is garbage. I don't care how good it is. What happened to my sound?
Now occasionally, and this mostly applies to RPGs, they will have a sort of real final boss. Not the one you fought at the end of the game. It's usually something that's really hard to get to figure out. Perhaps you gotta do a series of quests, but it's much more challenging than the actual final boss at the end of the game.
Very
And that's
true.
a really nice
It's
touch to
actually
add yet
also
another
very
thing
Gigabyte-
to
oh my
achieve
gosh.
even after you beat a game. There are some games that only have one difficulty setting, and that's so you know that you're playing it the way it's meant to be played. Most of the time, the difficulty is just right, but this can be risky, as if it's not challenging enough, then again, it's not really worth playing. And other games offer a few choices for difficulty. Some
That's interesting. What he just... I'm trying to remember what he just said. Because I'm like, okay, so... It's hard to find balance in a game when you can choose your own difficulty or set a difficulty if it's too hard. Well, that goes into... It depends on the player, really. For example,
Yeah.
not everyone likes Dark Souls not because it's too hard, it could be not their kind of game. Like their style of
Right.
game. I thought it was high fantasy or something. Or they're used to playing another kind of fantasy game where they blow right through it, and this is not their game.
Yeah.
It's very grounded in what it does.
So that can throw people off a little bit, but then again, I can do both. Where if, for example, Legend of Zelda is it's sort of grounded, but sort of not.
Yeah.
That's a mix of the two, I think.
Right.
Where it's like, I can't think of a fantasy game where it's like you get Omega powers, like all the time.
Yeah.
Maybe Gauntlet, where it's like you just spam everything all the time, like just do it. You gotta survive. Like, I can't think of a. Of course, I don't. Man, that's really hard to do. Like, I know, like Devil May Cry. That's way out there. Like,
Yeah.
and that's fantasy, I think. That can be
Yeah.
considered fantasy. There's fairies in it.
Yeah,
Or
anyway,
cherubs.
I'll be right back, man. Hang on,
Okay, sure.
gotta go to the facilities.
Well, okay. Bam, 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 bam. So I'm gonna go ahead and send him an invite. How do I invite the server? I just want him here. That's what I don't like about So let's see. Sure. Let's do it. Sent. All right, let's do it. We'll go back to here. All right, we're gonna wait. My computer. No wonder it was running slow. It was running like things that daggone. Why is it running that in the background? I quit Halo, and it was still running it in the background. I think this is New Mombasa. But I'm gonna go back a little bit because I'm like, wait a minute, what did you say? Because I was really confused. He was talking about like extra bosses.
Really hard to get to figure out. Perhaps you gotta do a series of quests, but it's much more challenging than the actual final boss at the end of the game.
Yeah.
And that's a really nice touch to add yet another thing to achieve even after you beat a game. There are some games that only have one difficulty setting, and that's
the true difficulty, unless it goes to New Game Plus. Okay.
so you know that you're playing it the way it's meant to be played. Most of the time, the difficulty is just right, but this can be...
And he shows Dark Souls to get this just right. Again, he is... Yeah, I agree totally with that. The first Dark Souls is definitely balanced in a way that the way you're playing it now is the actual difficulty. Sometimes you can go to places you're not supposed to, but that's your fault.
risky, as if it's not challenging enough, then again, it's not really worth playing. And other games offer a few choices for difficulty. Some of them can make the game absurdly hard, but hey, just having the option to change and tweak the way you want to play can really make the game accessible to a lot more people. Occasionally, there are video games with huge spikes from one difficulty to the next. Warcraft 3's normal is a decent challenge. Then when you move on to hard, it's like fucking hardcore mode, micromanaging. Then there's that group of people.
Okay.
Interesting.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was continuing.
Yeah.
I got really into the video because I like it, and so I forgot. I hate to say it, but this were a terrible video. I would wait because I need comfort. Like I need something. But now it's pretty okay. I'm gonna go back a little bit.
Just right, but this can be risky, as if it's not challenging enough, then again, it's not really worth playing. And other games offer a few choices for difficulty. Some of them can make the game absurdly hard, but hey, just having the option to change and tweak the way you want to play can really make the game accessible to a lot more people.
Yeah, that's awfully true. But he just stated something that's really obvious. So it's like, hey, when you have more choices, more people can play it. Yeah. He did, but still, like, yeah, especially but when you're talking about difficulty options and difficulty sort of settings, yeah, because not all difficulty options are there for you in the beginning. You know, like easy, medium, hard. You know, you beat it and there's an
Right.
impossible mode, or you go into New Game Plus where it's harder, or it's like you can tweak the difficulty with skulls. He's kind of went over this before, which is why he didn't probably do it again. He probably already noticed that. But yeah, it's just kind of, okay. I'm just pointing that out, I guess. Reinforcing what he just said.
Okay.
Using the TMP there, I see.
Yeah.
Which is, I'm more the rifle guy. Like, I buy that bolt action rifle. Because I'm all about precision. I think in the long run, the bolt action rifle is a better investment. Like, but I don't know. It depends. Sometimes I bought both because I need both kind of weapons. But yeah, I will say that the TMP is better for the first half of the game because it's good against El Gigante.
Yeah,
It's good against,
It helps.
huh?
It really helps take him down quicker.
Yeah, it really does. Like I just use the handgun and shotgun sometimes, and I'm like, okay. Oh, I heard. What you drinking?
Sparkling mineral water.
Oh my gosh, fancy. So, anyways,
It's a Pellegrino. It's a Pellegrino. So what do you expect?
Pellegrino. I drink sparkling water from the crystalline mountains of Argentina. Like, okay. It comes from a hose outside. Like, okay.
Occasionally, there are video games with huge spikes from one difficulty to the next.
I don't know if that can be said about the boss, but okay, sure. I don't know about him, but yeah. I don't think the boss. I think the reason why that boss is difficult because he moves way too fast for that cramped area.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the reason I don't like him.
The village chief is annoying just because of the fact that he.
And with the TMP, it's probably easier because it's like you don't have time to aim, so it's like just hit him. Like,
right.
So maybe I will get the TMP when I play it. Maybe I'll buy both and just not upgrade the TMP. Like I'll sell it when I get to the castle. Because by that point I don't need it anymore. Like,
yeah, you generally don't.
Like it's nifty, but I'm like, yeah, who knows?
Yeah, because I'm already in the castle actually on
Oh,
4.
excuse me.
Good God.
I had to do that.
Yeah.
I backed away. My goodness.
Dang, Falco.
Well, I had Mexican, so that helps. It was out of a package, but you know what? It's great. I don't care. Let's see. So, yeah, you're in the castle. Are you at the end part of the castle? Like the mine?
Or actually, no. I'm like, what is it? I'm kind of in the area where I'm getting semi close to fighting Krauser.
Krauser. Oh, that's not the castle. That's the base.
Right, the base.
Yeah,
So,
because the castle is with the little guy.
yeah, that's Salazar.
Salazar. Me baby can find your baby. I'm like, what?
Yeah, he's.
I love
he
him.
used he used the
Oh
rocket.
my gosh.
It's best just to use. I don't know how you feel, but I feel like, you know what? I'm not going to waste time with him. I'm just going to use the rocket launcher and just get rid of him quick and.
You talking about
So
Krauser?
this No,
Oh.
Salazar.
Yes, I do that all the time. Like it's. Like so you're still at the castle part.
No, I'm
Krauser's
past
late in the
that.
game.
I'm past that. I'm actually now
Okay.
because I'm gonna be the thing I don't like is I don't have much ammunition because I'm so bad at the game after all these years, and I got seriously my skills have gone down from it.
Oh my
I used to
gosh.
know that game so well.
Yeah. So I can't wait for me to get back to it. Then it's gonna be
Because I'm gonna be
interesting.
fighting the regenerators soon, and
Oh boy.
ooh,
Get
yeah,
that,
they are.
You need that infrared.
Yeah, I need the infrared scope.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Or I've seen people just run from them, and they're
can,
just fine. I'm like, okay.
But I mean, yeah, you can run, but I mean, at the same time, they're worth killing because you get so much gold out of them. So it's kind of worth.
It does
killing
depend
them for it. So
it does depend. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways, all right. I guess you're ready.
Yep.
All right.
Warcraft 3's normal is a decent challenge. Then when you move on to hard, it's like fucking hardcore mode micromanaging. Then there's that group of people, mostly game.
Like, oh. I'm gonna go back a little bit so I can get the context of Ninja Gaiden. Okay, I know it's called Ninja Gaiden. I don't care. I'm still gonna call them Chocoboos. I don't care. I've been doing that since I was like 10. You think I'm gonna change now? It's not happening.
Yeah.
Like,
Group of people, mostly game journalists, the ones that should have picked different careers. Like,
oh, Takashi! Oh, there he is. This is the guy. Okay, we gotta go back.
mostly game journalists, the ones that should have picked different.
He's from Venture Beat, yeah. Takahashi, Dean Takahashi, everybody. He's the guy that couldn't get past the tutorial on Cuphead. Like, he spent like 20 minutes doing it. The tutorial. The Cuphead. Where it tells you what to do. On the screen. Yeah. Like, why? It's kind of funny. I was watching Rags. The one thing you should never do is let Dean Takahashi play your game. It will ruin your business. Like, I'm like, yeah, like, he's really bad. He also did the Doom Eternal, and he couldn't finish the, the lava jumping puzzle, in the second level, where you have to go on those platforms. He couldn't do that either. He couldn't do it.
Huh.
And I'm like, it's not that hard. Trust me. Like, I need to play Doom Eternal again. Just because.
Yeah, they finished the DLC for that. Actually.
Yeah, I heard the DLC was okay. That's
It's
fine.
okay, but it's the final boss in the DLC is a bit of a headache, at least if you're doing on Ultra Nightmare.
What the fuck? Yeah.
Or Ultra
Okay, I'll
Violence,
be like,
my bad,
yeah.
that's what it's called, Ultra Violence.
I would guess.
So,
Oh, I played the game on easy, and I was like, geez, I'm getting my butt kicked. Because I'm not used to...
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but 2016, again, had a much better difficulty curve. Like, it was shorter, too. But, it didn't have crap enemies. Like the Hellguard or whatever. Like, oh my gosh. Whenever he shows up, I go, I hate you. It's because it's so unfair. You can only hit me when my guard is down, lol. I'm like, oh.
yeah, the hunters, those.
Yeah,
demon
the hunters. I hate them because they're so unfair.
Yeah, they are.
I'm
That's-
like, I'm not the only one who says so. Like, okay. I'm glad I'm not
Yeah,
alone in
no.
this.
Oh no, again, even one of my favorite other streamers who did it, even
Oh.
he hated the hunters. So it
Yeah,
wasn't just
I
you.
just think they're unfair. Like, I don't.
Yeah,
I'm like, haha, I block
basically,
BFGs. I'm like, what?
right. They block just about every single shot you throw at them.
It's so dumb. I'm like, no, that
is a
shouldn't be
bad-
possible.
Yeah, it should give you a little more opportunity than just like a split moment. So
Or be like have an in between, like where you
right.
like for example, there's a couple of bosses and enemies I do know in Doom that let you do the the what do you call it, the finisher, but it's not a finisher. It just does more damage, and then you continue. Like they should have done that. So at least you'd be
Yeah.
like get a little more damage on the deep end. It'd be so short, you know.
Right.
And if you miss it, oh well. That means that it means they have a longer fight.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do it, you get armor and health and well, you get that stuff
Yeah.
regardless.
Right.
You know, like but it's like if you learn nothing from your last game, like like take on. But anyways, whatever. It's not perfect. It's still a great game. They're not still lost hope.
Careers that constantly complain about games being too difficult. Games need to skip this boss button. They need to have a baby mode.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Yeah, I don't like that. No. No. Just because you bought a game doesn't mean you deserve to beat it. Sorry. Oh my god.
Yeah.
What in the world is that? I have no idea what that sound is. It sounds like someone's like dragging a iron coffin outside. Like, it's. I don't know what that is. Someone could have crashed for all I know. Like, oh my gosh. It's just like, at first I thought it was thunder. But now I'm like, I don't know if that's thunder. But, whatever. I guess everything's okay. Yeah, baby mode. I'm like, yeah, they want to skip a boss button. Like, get out of here.
City.
Get out of here. Oh, Seti, what's going on? For a lot of single player games. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But they shouldn't have baby modes either. Like, they shouldn't have like, oh, skip a boss, lol. I'm like, no. I disagree with that. You buy a game, you can't beat it. Too bad, so sad. Get your money back, maybe. Like, like you don't deserve it just because you buy it. Harder or easier. After what's upsetting? Oh, the auto come. I have paused it. Or, are you okay there? Let me listen to it. I did pause it. So let's see if it's actually doing what it's supposed to do. Because so far OBS I'm not impressed with.
Yeah. If you need to uninstall OBS after this and go back to
I don't know.
your
It depends.
slobs and
Slobs.
or whatever. So
I did pause it. So let's see if it's actually doing it. No, it's good. And I closed. You see, I close apps out of reflex. So I just closed it. It seems fine for me. All right. I'm back, and so is audio. Yeah, that's what I thought. So it's not OBS. Okay. All right, let's go. Walking on it. Yeah, probably.
So that uncoordinated toddlers like myself can play it. On the real, there is usually some merit to complaints about a game being too difficult. Like, for instance, the Capra Demon fight in Dark Souls 1. First
Everybody
time
hates
fighting
that
this
fight.
guy, you'll have about 2 seconds to take in your surroundings before you get fucked in the ass. I mean, while Dark...
Yeah,
a lot of
pretty
people,
much.
yeah, a lot of people hated that. that
Yeah, oh
boss
yeah,
fight.
like absolutely, and me included. I'll even point that out. Like, Dark Souls is a masterpiece, but oof, it's got two headaches: the Capra Demon and the what's it called? The Mother of Chaos, or gee whiz.
Yeah.
But in CS:GO voice, CS:GO voice, terrorist win. That's what the actman is. The actman's great. Like he has a great voice.
Hmm.
Like if anything else, he could probably. He actually said that once. Terrorist win. He said that in the extra credits video, normalizing Nazis. A really good video. Muller and Rags went over that as well. Extra credits. That's where I found it.
Hmm.
And well, of course, like everybody was doing that video though. Really, I did it. Not the time, but you know what I mean. It's like
Yeah.
everybody went over it. Like it's such a like dumb video. It's just entertainment bait, for everybody. Sometimes a bad video makes the internet better because it shows how much we unite under one flag of meritocracy.
Yeah.
Dark Souls is a fantastic game. I have a problem with this boss because it's almost guaranteed that the average player going in blind is going to die a few times. For
Yep.
comparison, look at the Tauros demon fight. It's similar because you're in a narrow space, but the difference is the first time you fight this guy, you see him off in the distance drop down. You get a chance to plan your strategy and move around. You get time to anticipate this big demon coming towards you. This is important for games with boss battles, that they don't just fuck you in the ass the moment you get into one. Most of the time, the games they talk about really aren't too hard. You just have to adapt. The old motto, get good, really does apply here.
Yeah.
But it's also very important to understand that some games aren't created for everyone. Actually,
Exactly.
no game is made for
Very
everyone
true.
because then it's made for no one. Certain demographics
Yeah,
of
let's talk
players
about
will
that. Let's talk about that. The whole game, like, if you make a game for everyone, then it's for no one.
Mhm.
Entertainment bait. Is it masterful? Well, it doesn't make quite much sense what I said, I guess. Like, but the whole thing with like, so what he means is, I don't think he means that, for example, Mario's for everyone.
Right.
But just because Mario is made for everyone doesn't mean it's made for everyone. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like, it's a
Yep.
very common type of game. Anyone can play it. Anyone can understand it. Like, if the concept is great. Like, for example, what's your mission? Save Princess. It's very simple. It's simple to grasp because there's a platform into another platform. You jump on another platform. You gain power-ups, and when you get 99 coins, you get a life. You can find extra rooms with coins. Like, it's very simple and easy to grasp. It's simple game language. Get good, absolutely. So it's not. Oh, you can't make me say that. Nice try. That's like saying like that Las Vegas vacation line. It's like when they're in the Hoover Dam. I mean, it's like, now anyone have any damn questions? That's a whole thing.
Yeah, I remember that thing. I'll
Oh,
be your
it's
damn guide for this damn tour.
Yeah.
Anybody got any damn questions?
Yeah, you got any
we're
damn
gonna
bait?
buy some. We're gonna buy some damn bait.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny that we actually went on a tour of a dam, and they sort of asked the same questions, and I'm like, what? Like, and we all like started referencing like, we even told the guide like, have you ever seen Vegas Vacation? Like, it was, oh man, no, stop it.
Yeah.
Like, I know what that means, but you're just gonna have the balls of blue. So, anyways, so it's you know what I mean. It's not made for everyone.
Right.
It's the whole point is like if you make a game that checks everyone's boxes, for example, like it's made for Timmy, it's which is 3 years old. It's made for that guy over there who is gay. Made that guy who's over there who is who's straight. Made it checks off every box. Then it's made for no one. It's because you can't make it something for everyone. Especially a product like a video game. Ugh. Like when it happens to a female. Gee whiz. Uh, so, do you have an example or what? I mean, do you agree or disagree or are on the same lines?
Well, no, I'm on the same lines as that.
Okay. Yeah,
Definitely,
I'm just
you know,
giving you a chance to speak up. You
you know,
know, like,
so,
I don't want to leave you out of it because I'm not speaking for you, like or whatever. I just want people to know.
well, yeah, and that's cool. I mean, I definitely agree that for that's always a factor. Yeah, there are always some games that just aren't meant for people. Some people are
Mhm.
really good at certain games, and others aren't so good at certain games. And then
Oh, I didn't.
just
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't see that part. Oh, okay.
Yes.
It's still just bad. Sorry, I read the comment wrong. Oops. Go on. I'm sorry.
it's fine.
I was looking at chat like
Yeah.
a good streamer would. Continue.
But
Uh,
yeah, go
or- or
go
did you
ahead.
lose your
Let's,
point?
let's continue with this.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Oh my gosh, stop burping.
Yes, Falco.
I can't help what gas does. Oh my gosh. Belch. So yeah, whenever I say belch in the chat at movie nights now, you guys know I'm really doing it.
Maybe I take some Tums.
Tums are for losers and wusses. Anyways, let's go.
Will be pleased by the difficulty in one game and others won't be. So really it is up to the player's choice in what sort of challenge and difficulty they're looking for.
Sometimes.
I mean, people absolutely love the Civilization games. However, for me, the difficulty lies in simply understanding what the fuck I'm supposed to be doing. I can't even get past the tutorial in these games. So I know they aren't for me, but I'm not gonna bash the difficulty in them if that's what you like. I said a while back that most people would agree with me on the statement that challenge and difficulty is the most important thing every video game needs, but that
Yeah, I actually do agree. If the game's not for you, then the difficulty won't be for you either. Like I
Yeah.
said about Dark Souls, like if that type of game is not for you, then the difficulty is just going to be that barrier that you just don't want to do. Like, yeah, that correlates. Yeah. It's kind of funny. This is not actually a video because he's making points. He doesn't just leave it there. He's trying to cover his tracks a little bit. He actually is doing the due diligence to actually mention things, and also be entertainment. It's definitely more entertainment than it is a discussion or a thesis, but it's definitely not bad. Like, at all. Like, it's a very good video. Let's see. A good streamer would. Not actually a good streamer. Just act like it. Yep, pretty much. I act like it. I'm the straw man for every single good streamer. If I do it, then they do it. Vice versa. I'm just like them. Put me in your field and I will scare crows. Because I'm a straw man.
a select few were going to disagree. Yeah,
Of course.
I was talking about the hackers, the cheaters, specifically in multiplayer games. I mean, take a look at this. A highlight clip from a COD World War II game. Now, this dude is obviously hacking. Everyone can see that. So these 4 kills mean jack shit. And not just that, everyone who looks at this is gonna think, wow, that guy is a piece of shit. Because seriously, what's the fun in that? What's the fun in knowing you're gonna win? I don't.
Well, not in the knowing you're going to win, but cheating can be fun all by itself. It would definitely get old, though. Like, because it's too easy. But doing it once in a while, like, okay. Someone hacked my profile once to get me top, in the leaderboards and Call of Duty, and it ended up like corrupting my file. Like, yeah, it wasn't good, but I fell for it because I don't know. I thought he had good intentions, or whatever. It's usually guys who are on Xbox, PSN, just like Xbox Live. So I assumed guy. So whatever.
I don't find enjoyment in cheating, especially against other players. But I do know why people cheat like this.
I love
because
cheating.
the game, as it's supposed to be played, is offering you the challenge of playing against other real people. And from match to match, it's incredibly difficult to anticipate how other players are going to play. So people who hack are falsely chasing that accomplishment I was talking about. Even though it's scummy, the important thing to remember
Hold
is
on. That was awesome, though. Whoa, wait a minute. That was awesome. Did you see that sniper rifle shot? Like, he is rapid firing a sniper rifle.
So people who hack are falsely chasing
like,
that accomplishment I was talking about. Even though it's scummy, the important thing to remember is hackers are still chasing that Dragon of Challenge. Again, I'm trying to emphasize the importance here. Just because difficulty is the most important factor in a game, that doesn't mean the more...
The Call of Duty games actually got called out for it. They were using aimbots, and, well, their accounts now have been suspended.
Yep, good.
Because of them cheating.
Of course they should. But if you have a private lobby and if you want to have fun with, with cheaters or whatever, I mean, I don't see anything wrong with that either. Like, if you want to, for example, if you want to have fun with the game and you want to cheat in multiplayer, you probably should find a private lobby or something and create one with your friends or something like that. You know what I mean? I don't think.
Well, I could understand. Yes, if it's a private lobby, thing with your friends, and everybody's using something like that. That's one thing, but to use it in just general, and that's where
it is pretty scummy. Yeah, it is pretty scummy.
And that's where he's going at with this is it's not like playing with your friends. It's going just head to head against other players from other areas and so forth like that. It's not like you're playing against your friends or nothing like that. And these same people aren't using these type of advantages or anything like that. So
I mean, I hate to say it, but I don't like cheaters whenever I encounter them. Whenever I did in Call of Duty. But if I was on the other side of that, for example, I wouldn't do it all the time. I would just do it like maybe once a month. And to be like, I just want to have some fun with people. Just let's see their reactions. Let's troll some people, But but that's fun for about a while. And if you kept doing it, you're a jerk about it. Like you're But straight up ban. Yeah, of course. I have no idea what the technical sides of cheating really are. It's just that it's just that not many people learned their lesson when it came to stopping cheating. But the only thing you can do is report them and hope something gets done about it. Like that's it. Not about cheating, but what was the other thing? Like there was something else. I was like, that sounds interesting. I forgot what he was talking about, so I'm going to run it back a little bit.
His hackers are still chasing that Dragon of Challenge. Again, I'm trying to emphasize the importance here. Just because difficulty is the most important factor in a game, that doesn't mean the more there is, the better. The too much of a good thing rule applies to everything but Cheez-Its and cocaine, alright? It really is a delicate balancing act, but when it's perfected, that
But what if you put cheetahs on cocaine? Is that too much of a good thing, Actman? Huh?
Yeah, and, yeah. Bring Sadie in on this, there, Falco.
Sadie?
Who wants
Okay.
it? So just come on in there,
If you
Sadie, and
want,
Falco will
I
drag
can
it
get
in.
on the okay. Uh, okay, I guess. Hold on. I'm gonna go ahead and. Oh, there's Haggard. He just said like nah. Oh wait, I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of my display real quick. Hang on. I'm gonna get rid of that. All right, so I can talk to people without. It won't work. I don't know why. Okay. Hold on. I'm gonna go to my Discord real quick. Oh, there it is. There he is. I'm gonna drag you in. All right, you are dragged in.
Ooh woo.
Hello.
Is Sadie?
So, you were talking about the cheating aspect of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the way that these cheaters do things is one of three ways.
Mhm.
One, they could either do hex editing on whatever applications or application resource files that are loaded in at runtime. Or B, they could do memory editing of the application itself while it's running. Or C, they could do packet editing of data coming in or data going out. And that's how they manipulate it. And ultimately, it's all technically client-side manipulation. And it's that the server has been programmed in such a way that it doesn't have the checks and balances to check for client-side manipulation.
Right.
And so that's what enables them to have things like God mode or fire sniper rifle or shit like that.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
I was like, why? It's awesome.
And and so I in situations like that, I actually fault the developers because they weren't thinking of these things when they're making a multiplayer game, which they should be thinking of those things. So that should be at the top of their mind. Because that's the first thing that's going to cause people to leave is cheaters.
I think
right, because that's what happened in this Call of Duty game. They're saying that I should actually send you the link to a guy called Tipster. His name is on YouTube, and it was you know, and it was actually from one of the voice actor or voice actress actually who caught these two cheaters using an aimbot in Call of Duty.
Oh yeah.
Showed,
an aimbot. Oh.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and you know things even go deeper than that too. Because inside, you can't control really what the user does with their graphics or doesn't do. Because the thing is you have different graphics cards. Some are older, some are newer. Some support certain technologies, other ones don't. And the thing is for the developers, they want to keep the game compatible. They want to have as many players capable of playing it. Well, by doing that, they also open up another door to players taking away graphics intentionally in order to see through walls.
Precisely.
So,
precisely.
And extra features to add in indicators.
So, I forgot what my original point was. Daggone it. I forgot what I talked about.
There's some cheaters, they'll strip, they'll have the game stripped right down to wireframe.
Oh, yeah, I have seen that. Especially with, I was watching the, Angry Joe's worst games of the year. That's like the only video I watch of his nowadays. But anyways, there was Fear Online. It came out busted. And so people were able to just pretty much without much effort to cheat at the game. And they turned into wireframes and they killed people instantly with knives. You know, and I'm like, oh, this looks terrible anyway. It doesn't take much. So.
Thing is, too, is with aimbot, they could prevent that as well. Because if the server gets reports of that the player is looking at one location and then 20 seconds or 20 milliseconds later is looking complete opposite direction or whatever, or their cursor's basically snapped to another location. And it's not like normal human input where you drag your cursor, so it's got a increase or decrease that is steady. Then that's also another indicator of cheating, because then it's like, okay, well, that's aimbot. Yeah. And then you have to also look at, for these games that are first-person shooter or third-person shooter, what's the distance from where that person is taking that shot to where it's going to? What is the radius around their actual cursor, like for their main point of impact? Because there's going to be variance in there, right? What that variance is PRNG or it's fixed random. There's two different methods. Like, for instance, Overwatch, it's actually fixed random. There's a pattern to it. Whereas other games, they do it as a PRNG, and it's based on the entropy of the game's memory as to how big that random seed is.
So, what do you mean by, like, I assume that anything is programmed into it. So how is it random, per se?
Well, that's why I say pseudo-random number generator, PRNG, because there's no such thing as a true RNG. Everything can be technically calculated.
Yeah. It's all about knowing patterns, yeah.
For PRNG, that's all entropy-based. And whatever seeding rate that you're doing and that type of thing. That's a huge discussion topic we could go into if you want, but I mean, for all purposes,
probably not. But the let's see. Well, let's. I guess we can go on with the video. But still, it's kind of interesting how people can just go in and cheat. Now, there's obviously going to be something where people miss something, like something that's really obvious. People make mistakes, and they should go back and fix it, unless they abandon the game and don't update it or don't try to make improvements because they're on to the next game.
Like that's what I was about to say. The problem is that the programming side often clashes with the executive side, and the executive side, which is all your different CEOs and whatever else, they want to push through projects and go from one project to the next because they want to make money.
Like Call of Duty. Yeah.
Now, on the programming side, they're crunched for time because of that. And that's why a lot of games, when they first get released, are full of bugs. And the first thing that reviews say is, do these guys not test their game at all? What the hell are they doing?
You mean like they probably do a open beta, which is not really a beta because it could be moved off the shelf at that point, and they barely make tweaks.
And the thing is too is even that beta period time is oftentimes too short.
Yep.
They usually have it at only a couple of weeks, and they try and during that period of time they try to ignore as many errors as they can. They only look at the very stupidly obvious ones.
Yeah,
if it's something where it's
very surface level problems. Yeah.
Like if it's something that's circumstantial that needs specific conditions met in order to achieve the bug, that won't get fixed in beta.
Probably no.
They'll try to shut it down and say, no, that's just a one-off. We're not worried about it.
Here's the patch.
How we're going to troubleshoot it.
Okay.
They'll look for any excuse.
This is why no one likes AAA developers, really, because too many bugs come out nowadays. It's just acceptable now. Where it's like, it's kind of funny. I actually played Transformers Fall of... what is it called? Fall of
Cybertron.
Fall of Cybertron. Thank you. Fall of Cybertron. And I loaded it into my PS4, and I was like, okay, let's see how many updates I need to do for this game. It loaded right away. And I was like, oh my gosh, a game that actually just plays? Oh my gosh. It was so rare. And, wow. No need for updates. They actually took their time with it and actually It's a decent like game. Like it's really fun, and it didn't have any bugs or anything with it, except the insects. But but it's just so rare to find these games that are like that need time, and that's why I like indie too because Shovel Knight. When I played Shovel Knight, it's good without updates. Same thing with Nintendo games nowadays. They have updates, but you can play them without them. You don't need the internet to play these games. Like it just makes them maybe better or worse. It depends. Because speed runs can be much better without the updates. Like, so it's like, so yeah, man, it's just interesting how like people don't trust AAA games because of they come out so buggy all the time because they're too busy making up to date graphics in their new engine, or putting people in charge who don't know how to use the engine, like with Anthem. Like it's so dumb. Like why would you do this?
Well, that's also another thing too. Is that
Mhm.
for game engines, you have your game engine developers, and you have your developers that are making the game that uses that engine.
Mhm.
It's kind of like two different programming teams. And the thing is that the game engine, as like after they've gone it to a state where the game developers can start using it, well, the game engine developers, they're going to still come across bugs, or they may even still add more features. And if they go and add features too far along the line, where the game developers say that, well, we need this feature, but if we're gonna implement this at this stage, we're gonna have to go all the way back and modify a lot of stuff.
Right.
And then it sets them back on their timeline, and
Yep.
then it comes into a question of how many features of the game engine are going to actually be used in this game that's based on that game engine by the same developers.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's very true. Especially when talking about how like 343 is still. I don't know. I don't know if they're still. I remember as far back as 2017, they were still making updates for Halo 5 and all that stuff. And Star Wars Battlefront 2 was still being worked on by. Was it? I think it's EA or is it? I don't know if it's Dice, but yeah, I heard they were still doing updates, and they stopped updates a little while ago, and they said this is the complete game, and it actually turned out to be a game worth playing, sort of. But I'm still not going to support the game because of what they'd done in the beginning. Like your first impressions are always more important than your last ones because that should have been the way it should have been closer to the finished product, like at the beginning. Like you can't expect me to pay up front because it might be good later. Like that's
Actually, that's what they do a lot of times with pre-orders.
I hate pre-orders. I hate them.
Because they're capitalizing on their company's reputation of previous games, and a lot of people go for that.
Oh, it's so
You'd be
dumb.
surprised.
Like I'm not saying they're dumb, but I've pre-ordered a game before. It's
And-
stuff,
and-
But,
And
man.
sometimes too, companies they'll even amp up the incentive. They'll say if
Yep.
you pre-order this game within this time period, you'll also get this and this and this
yeah,
in the
X
game as
plus
in-game
Y.
content that no other
Yeah.
players will get exclusively.
Exactly.
Yep, exactly. And I did a whole article on how pre-orders are like bad. Like it was like why would you put your what is a good pre-order? What is exactly are you getting with it? And
Well, what it is, it's a an immediate finance boost, and it
Yes.
also amps up sales a little bit more, and it gets the company the much needed funds that they need because they've already been paying out their programmers and their other staff all this time. They need to get a surge in money in order to continue, and that's why we do that.
Not all companies are equal when it comes to that paying their employees. I don't. Especially
Well,
when it
that's
comes
what
from
loans
like
are for.
EA, especially like EA and stuff like that. Like you could take a hit. Like,
Like just what every corporation, in order to function,
of
has to have
course,
some
I'm not.
level of debt.
I'm not saying that, but they earn so much money from the back end that a game can fail and they'll. It's like, yeah, the people in the lower end are going to suffer the most. Like it's, like, even though I hate that, but no, when you create a product, I you know that's so dumb. Then you deserve to have your sales hurt. Like it's because you're presenting a product, and that's if the product's bad. I'm not going to buy it. Or if you're going to like say, well, if you don't like it, don't buy it. Like okay, okay then, I won't. It's kind of funny. Like boycotting didn't work because they used so much money. I'm like, well, they could have earned so much more if they didn't do that. Like, like they still lost money on that. More money than they should have. So, anyways, and I guess we'll turn it all around back to the video, and it's like a NASCAR track. It just goes way back to the beginning, you know.
That's what makes a video game addicting and fun as hell and gives it immense replay value. Now I think I've covered just about every angle of this, but I would like to share this link to video game difficulty tropes. It actually highlights all the different forms of challenge in video games, and I suggest taking a look at it if you're more curious on the subject. But you know, it all boils down to that sense of pride and accomplishment, that satisfaction.
Do you know where pride and accomplishment comes from? That quote? Kevin?
No idea.
Anybody? Okay, so in Star Wars Battlefront 2, in their promotional material, they put that pride and accomplishment because it took like 90 hours to get like Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader, in order to unlock them. And people, and people estimated it would take like 90 hours to get them both. And they said, well, and on Reddit, they said, well, we want you to feel pride and accomplishment. Like, no, that's too many hours. Like, no. Like, people got things to do. Like, and so he used that as a sort of term for, like, and so they reduced the hours by half because there was player backlash. Like, that's too many hours for unlocking a character.
Well, I can understand both sides of the picture there. I mean, the developers, they wanted it to be something that you'd actually have to work at for quite a while in order to achieve, like a real achievement. But then the players said, well, we don't want it to be a real achievement. We just want it because achievement unlocked, motherfucker.
But the problem is that the last game had them for free. So why can't they have them not for free? Like why unlock them at all when they've been free before? Like that doesn't make any sense.
Because players, they see it as a tick in the box, and they want to get that tick. They don't care. Whereas the developers, they want to add different things. They want to make things more interesting, make things harder, that type of thing. And when you have backlash from the players, well, they're also screwing with their finances. Because those players, if they turn around and say, no, I don't want this game, this is bullshit, and they return it, well, that's a loss for the company. And that's why also Steam has the policy that if you play a game for more than, half an hour or something like that, you cannot do a return.
That's a little iffy. But, yeah,
I mean... Not iffy. That's their hard and fast rule. It's half an hour.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know if I like that or don't like it. It seems like what arbitrary amount of hours means that you didn't play a game enough, or maybe it's like, maybe it gets better later, and you pay for more than 30 hours, and you're like, maybe I don't like this. Oh, I can't return it now. Like,
Well,
hmm.
well, I know it's like this one game, Ashman's Call.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah.
Originally, the level cap was 126.
Mm-hmm.
Then later on, as things progressed and they scaled things differently and that
Mm-hmm.
type of thing, then they made the level cap 275. Well, people were getting to level 275 and they had done all the quests and everything. They were bored to tears. They didn't know what to do. So the developers, they go and do a band-aid fix. What they did is they said, okay, well, if you get to level 275, you get all these augmentations that are very time consuming to get on your character. Then you can optionally reset your character back to level 1 with no augmentations, but you'll get a permanent augmentation that will give you +1 to all stats and skills,
Mm-hmm. But
as well as title. And you can do this 5 times over. After you've done it 5 times over, well, sorry, we got nothing more for you.
well, the problem with with what they did in Star Wars Battlefront 2 is that after you have to spend those hours just getting that hero unlocked, not getting better abilities for anything else or even the hero itself, just to play as that character. And that
Yeah, so
is a lot of nonsense hours put into a game that maybe people can't play, that per time per week.
Yes, there are things that make it something that's more prestigious. Because then you go and watch these
it's
streamers
Darth
on YouTube.
Vader. Like, what are you
Yeah,
talking about?
Well, that's what I mean. It's a character that they're trying to make as more prestigious in comparison to
Well,
other
it might be.
characters.
Well, the problem. Well, the problem is that it's still too many hours. You can still have that, and have it be prestigious. Like, for example, like, but when you don't have you don't have abilities for a normal character, you can't really progress. Like, it takes a lot more time to progress. And by the way, you can just buy those things. By the way, if you don't want to do it now,
No,
you can
it's
just buy
pay
it.
to win.
You can just buy it. It doesn't matter.
No, that's
Your
dumb.
efforts are
Because
worth
then
nothing.
that just means the executive side just fucked it all up for the developer side.
Oh yeah,
Developers are trying to
absolutely.
Yeah.
to the game's content, and then the developers are like, "Well, we want some more money, so let's make this a pay to win."
Yes, exactly. It is pay to win. And if you don't want to go through that 90 grind, well, you can pay for it. Like, that's another thing about it. They said it was too long. They have to make a compromise. Not really a compromise, because that's still, like, I don't know, 30, 60
And
hours.
that's something that comes straight from the
Like,
executive
what?
side of the company.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It was a total screw over of the player. They didn't want it as a pride and accomplishment. They wanted your money. Like,
Yeah.
That's why he used the quote. Which is like, it's sort of like, this really is pride and accomplishment when it comes to challenge. That's why he said it. Like, I mean, the actman said it. Or whatever. That's why, like, that's why I had to point that out. Because it's like, they really tried to screw over every player, and they didn't let him get away with it. Like, they actually changed a lot about it. Because there was such backlash. Because...
Well, I think with the backlash, the executive department probably would have realized that, yeah, okay,
you screwed
this
up.
is a bit much. We need to go talk to the development side, tell them, no, it has to be less prestigious.
Yeah, they actually got the loot
we're
boxes
undermining
offline. Like, they actually took off the loot boxes for a while, and they said, and not only that, Disney called them and say, hey, you screwed up. Like,
Yeah. Well, because, as soon as you piss off the players, which are really customers,
yes, exactly.
You're playing with finances already.
Yeah.
And, while a game's development speaks, money shouts.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And not only that, these are Star Wars fans. Come on. You don't do that. And also said, like, well, we didn't create skins for, any characters because no one wants to play as pink Darth Vader. Like, no. That's not it at all. Like Pepto Bismol, Darth Vader. Heck yeah. Like, let's go for it. It's so weird. Oh, okay. Let's finish this thing. He's fighting the El Gigante and dodging it. I'm like, yeah. He likes the Resident Evil 4 gameplay.
Factory feeling can come in low and high volumes, whether it be winning a Mario Party minigame or successfully beating Dark Souls without taking a hit. You know, that's really why we play games. To overcome a challenge and have fun while doing it. To sharpen our memory, our reflexes. I don't mean to imply that graphics, sound, music, writing, story, cinematics, or fun factor are not important features. They really, truly are. When you get to the core of what all games are about, it really comes back to the challenge and feeling accomplished at the end of it all, because you want all the time you spent playing to show for something. And that is why difficulty and challenge is the most important thing every video game needs.
So that's the video. It's so what'd you think, Kevin?
It was actually pretty good.
I know, right?
Definitely had a lot of ups with it. Very little downs.
Oh yeah,
very little.
It's the opposite of our normal videos.
Right.
It's very little up, a lot of downs, a lot of downs.
Yeah,
but because like the people who do those videos have no idea what they're talking about. This is the guy who's like, he knows what he's talking about, and even if he's not analytical or speaks with stats or anything like that, you can tell that he's coming from a place of good faith. And wants to talk about something that's never been talked about before, which is challenge, which is pretty true. I mean, he kind of proved it. He went around to all these articles and said, like, how come no one's talking about challenge? You know, it's a very good video because of that. It made me think about why I play games. You know, it's again, it's not the most constructive one. I'm sorry we skipped over the Mr. Gigi one. I meant to put him in there, but I guess we're just doing the actman one. That's a really good video where he makes. In fact, I'm going to show a part of it because it's really good, and I don't want to skip on that. I don't know how to get back because. So I'm going to get to another video real quick. I'm just going to open this in a new tab. And I'm going to show this one instead. Here we go. Woo! At least I'm not running Master Chief Collection in the background anymore.
Shit.
I'm so dumb. You see, I closed the game, but it didn't stop running. So I have no idea why I did that.
When the pedals come a-knocking, there's only two men who can stop.
No, shut up. Just be quiet. I need my peace.
Stop them. Starring pedal